Let's prep a meeting. Like actually prepare a meeting. Who am I going to talk to? What do I need to know about this person, about this company? What have we been, if we have been talking before, what were the outcomes of that? Details, stuff that I picked up, what I know, how many children do they have? What can I do the small talk? But also, where am I in the sales process? What am I trying to gain from this meeting? What's my goal? What could be the goal of the customer that I want to check? Like the whole prep, like all of the questions that you have and have them in writing and feed them to any system. Nobody's doing that. And I think that there are so many tools out there that can help you actually do it. Gather all the information, help you make sure that you plan that prep.
You're listening to the Sales Today podcast, and I'm your host, Fred Copestake. On this podcast, we explore how sales professionals can develop a modern approach to winning business, the application of virtual selling techniques, how to create meaningful business relationships, and much more. Why not take our free collaborative selling scorecard to see how your sales approach suits today's environment? You'll find a link in the show notes. And welcome to this episode of the Sales Today podcast, where I am joined again by Hanneke Vogels. This is part of a mini-series around selling with tech. Now, Hanneke is one of the world's experts in this stuff, which is why I am so excited to talk to her about this. And we have already recorded 2 episodes. You might have heard these, which is about the right opportunities and the right research. All part of the framework where we want opportunities, research, conversations, solutions, and outcomes. So this is all about the right conversations and how we can use tech for that. So for me, this is all about, I call them meetings. I'm a bit old school. People might call them calls. They could be virtual, they could be in the same room, they could be on a phone. So it's very much about that. It's about questioning.
Yeah.
I can't see a sales meeting without questioning. Um, and so how we can maybe make that more advanced and how we can just do an excellent job in helping the customer to think. Because that's where I believe sales is now. When we're asking questions, it's all about helping people to think. But we can use tech to help us with that.
Hmm.
So, Hanneke, some thoughts then on meetings, calls, whatever you can call them what you want.
Yeah. Well, there's just so much to say about meetings because that's like the core of our work, right? Interaction with our customers and potential customers.
I
But
hope
I want to
so.
talk about the elephant in the room first
Go
because I think that this is something 90% of the salespeople actually don't do well or not. They don't do it at all. It's prep a meeting. Like actually prepare a meeting. Who am I going to talk to? What do I need to know about this person, about this company? What have we been, if we have been talking before, what were the outcomes of that? Like details, stuff that I picked up, what I know, how many children do they have? Like, what can I do the small talk? Um, but also, where am I in the sales process? What am I trying to gain from this meeting? What's my goal? What could be the goal of the customer that I want to check? Like the whole prep, like all of the questions that you have and have them in writing and feed them to any system. Nobody's doing that. And I think that um, there are so many tools out there that can help you actually do it. Gather all the information, help you make sure that you plan that prep. Like in 15 minutes, if you have all the information in front of you, you can already do a lot. You can even ask all of these tools that are a little bit smarter than a basic CRM to help you define what should we be talking about? What am I missing here? Um, Simple tools like ChatGPT, as we mentioned in the previous episodes before, and I mention it all the time because it's so accessible and has multifunctions, and even the sales can buy it themselves and not tell their boss if their boss is a little bit slow on giving them tools. Um,
on.
And it happens. It happens, and I think it's a good thing. We call it shadow IT. I'm from IT. We call it shadow IT, and people hate me for it. But I say, go sales, do it. Don't tell anybody, but just be wildly successful using these tools. Like prep is something you can really put into a process and help you do your meetings better because you have it fresh in your brain what you want to do. So it's very intentional.
Okay. So when you start talking about that, you start talking about the objective. So having a meeting objective, SMART
Hmm.
objective. I mean, would you use tech for that, or is that just something that you're going to set because you know what you're doing here? Can the tech second guess you? How? Tell me what you're doing.
I think it's a little bit of both. So I think that any sales, if you're listening right now, you know what you want from a meeting, right? But maybe the tech can find some stuff you haven't thought about. So if you look at previous meetings or all of the research that you've done, there might be angles that you didn't come up with or questions that you might think would be, or you didn't even think of, that would help you uncover information that you need to start actually selling later. So it's
Yeah.
more about, I call it like a little assistant. And it's not like letting the tech think for you, because as a sales, you already have a lot of experience and you know what you want from meetings. But it's more like an assistant saying, hey, here's your lunchbox.
Don't forget.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to pick up a word that you've used in one of the other episodes, which was angles.
Mhm.
Yeah, so picking up on angles. I have an angle on this, but what do you mean by it? What do you mean by that?
I think that as human beings, we tend to go for a certain route. We have our ways, we have our systems of doing stuff. And I think that new perspectives, new angles, um, can help you sell better. It's like we all have that blind sight. We do. You, as a human, that's normal. And I think that a lot of these sales tools can help you, especially now with AI, they can help you bring some new insights, new metaphors, a new question, things you haven't put together. And that makes it so wildly interesting to have it run alongside you to help you do the stuff that you like haven't figured out before.
Yeah, and that was my angle, which is the insight piece. That's our job. We are there to help people think. Said that already.
Yeah.
So bringing this perspective, bringing the angle, bringing the insight, that piece of information, that thing that's going to trigger the thinking and get them to, oh, I hadn't thought about that's useful. That's helpful. Absolutely, it can help us do that, so that we can then rock up and we are valuable. We become valuable in the meeting. We all talk about
Mhm.
selling value, and that tends to be the ROIs and all this kind of wonderful stuff.
No,
We
it's
want somebody
having
saying, that was a
conversations.
great meeting.
Yes.
Really
And
helped
that's
me.
funny, right? So if you look at all of the research done, and now we're getting out of the tech and we're into the human part of it, but if you look at all of the research done, it's um the sea level, especially sea level, but also below, people feel seen and value a meeting more if they talk more, which is extremely funny. So if I'm not talking as a sales, and I'm not like sharing too much, there's only a sentence here and there and a question, the chances are like so much bigger that I'm going to walk out with something super valuable as like an actual opportunity than when I start to pitch. Even though if I know what I'm doing, and even if I know they have a problem, but they want to be seen first. They want to connect. So you want to let go of some of the information, add a natural point in the conversation, but only short and sweet, make them hungry, make them ask a question.
Mm.
And then you can tell a little bit more and then revert it back to their situation. So it's more like and with that, like the turning points and talking points in meetings, having that prepared if one doesn't work, you can always try the other. That's the
Yeah.
good thing with new angles. And that's what we
Yeah.
actually need to have that flow.
To stimulate, to help people to think that it's got to be some kind of thing. Now, the other thing I wrote down as you're talking is like to help you with metaphors. I hadn't thought of that one. So you're getting chatty, you're getting the AI to help you with a way of describing something to make it easier and more accessible to somebody.
Yes.
You're getting it to do that.
Yes.
Wow.
So for instance,
I hadn't thought
if
of that.
someone is like, if you know your contact is extremely interested in a specific sport, I'm a karate girl. So if you talk to me and you did some research on karate and you have some karate references or metaphors, you'd have my ear. But to come up with it, just that's hard, man. That's hard. It requires a lot of thinking. Throw it into any AI chat thingy, and you can have like 10 back. If you even use two, you'll steal their heart.
Awesome. For those listening, I'm sat with my mouth wide open. Going to hand occur to me to do that. That's very cool. That's very cool. While we're thinking about meeting then, so to take a slightly different tack on this as well. What about the sort of the meeting recorders and the things that are, well, that's for after meeting, I guess, where it's going to give you the performance analytics. Or is it in the meeting now? The kind of heads up display type
Yeah,
stuff. We're into heads up
yeah,
display now, aren't we? Yeah.
yes. I think that we're very close to it, and some tools already have it that not only can they record any meeting, virtual ones, but also face-to-face ones. You just record it on your mobile or your tablet. That's why I hate Remarkables, by the way, because they're dumb tools.
That's
You
why I
know,
love them.
Remarkable tablets. Those that looks like paper, but isn't paper. It's like I hate them
Like that.
because they don't do anything. Yes, that. I think they're dumb.
I held one up
But
if you're listening.
but those meeting recorders, they can just transcribe and highlight and summarize everything that's happening, have your key points. That's one part of it, right? But now we're moving into the next era of these things where during the meeting, if you've done your prep right, they can even check if you've asked all of your questions and highlight the ones that you haven't done yet. Or they can well, this is not allowed in the EU, but they can do a sentiment analysis. So, how is your prospect feeling about you? They can detect based on words, tone, and everything how the sentiment of a person is. Are they happy? Are they not happy? How does that roll? So that's an interesting one that is coming available right now. But also speaking time. So we all know as sales, you should shut up. But every once in a while, they trigger us and we start talking. Um, you'd want to know, you'd want to have a highlight. That is what these tools are about to do.
Yeah. 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 No, like that. Okay, so I mean, no, we're getting quite advanced there. Just sort of in the quest to be covering as many things as possible. Can I talk about some more basic stuff as well?
Yeah, go
If
ahead.
we're certainly if we're talking virtual, camera, microphone. Now,
Yeah.
this might sound crazy, but if you've got a bad microphone, you're making the job for your customer really difficult. Actually, making the job for yourself difficult. So I read some research that if people can't hear you properly, then
Mhm.
your perceived credibility diminishes.
Yeah. It's like that.
I want to be perceived as credible when I'm selling.
No, but and whether you use headphones or whatever, it should be good. And buying like a real podcast mic is it's just 100 quid. Come on. We're in sales. We make money. If your boss is not buying for it, do it yourself. It's an
Th- th-
investment in your career, y- in your target for that year.
Would you buy a pair of smart shoes? Probably. Okay, so but this is more important, particularly if you're spending a lot of time on this. And I actually audio probably above video, but then if you're gonna do it, get video right. Yeah, lightings, people can see your face, they can see your expressions,
Yeah.
and then even moving into kind of how you present yourself on camera. Are you going to use your hands? I use my hands a lot, but I use them very deliberately within the square.
Yeah.
So For me, this is still tech. This is still how we can marginal gains, lots of things that we can get slightly better in, keep raising the bar so that we do a better job to get where we want to be.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
so yeah, there's some super advanced, probably a bit more pricey things. There's some stuff that it's more accessible for people. They can just do and do quite quickly. Do quite quickly.
Yeah, that is. It doesn't have to be too complicated.
Might be better if it's not.
Yeah, but I really should say that tech is in a way a different world, and it's not hard to understand. It's not hard to understand. Most salespeople are actually very smart people, and they've mastered sales, certainly up to a certain level because they're still in it. So they're more than capable of understanding tech. You just need to put a little bit of effort in it. And that's what I see is where still people are saying, yeah, tech's not really my thing. And I'm like, come on. You can no longer say that. Well, when you're 2 years just before your retirement or something, but this is not the world you're living in today. Today's world is technology and it's moving fast now that AI made a big leap. Why would you think you can get away with saying tech's not really my thing? It's everywhere. And you know how Netflix works. So come on, you can figure out a note taker.
Let me reframe it stronger. And
Hmm.
this is, I've not used ChatGPT for this, but this is just pure me. If you're not, you're basically saying to the customer, I can't really be bothered.
Yeah,
I can't be bothered to do the best job for you. Can't be asked, mate.
I don't care. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. So really, it's make the effort. But like you say, it's his process. If you're around, you're successful with process, understand the process to use whatever technology, and you'll be able to incorporate it into your tool set. And I think more than ever, sales, it's
But this is
about
what
this whole
high
tool set.
performance people do, right? This is
Yeah.
what they do. They always go deeper. They think about process. They go 5 steps further than anybody else. So if you're listening to this and you feel like you can do better, that you can be more successful, the one thing that you should do is like everything that you do, go at least 2 steps further on it. Go deeper. And if you use tech to do that, it won't cost you twice as much time.
Might do just at the very beginning as you're getting used to it and incorporating
Yeah.
it. But once that's in play, then you're doing stuff faster and better normally.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Very cool. We digress a tad, but probably quite an important. If anyone's well, if you listen to the other two, you'll know that's not an unknown thing. No, very cool, very cool. Again, time has flown. Time has flown on this. Where can people get in touch with you if they've got maybe a question off the back of this, or want to just say, "Hey, look, I've heard it, like what you're saying," or don't like what you're saying? Again, either way, give us feedback.
Yes, give us feedback, and you can find me on LinkedIn, and I'm only a DM away.
Same here. So I'll pop both of the our LinkedIn profiles into show notes, and yeah, get in touch with us. Please do. Thank you for listening to the Sales Today podcast with me, your host, Fred Copestake. I hope you've enjoyed what you heard today. If you did, please get in touch and hit subscribe. And remember, you can take the collaborative selling scorecard for free to check out how your sales approach works in today's environment. You'll find it in the show notes.